today we're going to turn all of this into Schnitzel, Wiener Schnitzel to be precise. So Schnitzel from Vienna, but I mean, they have it all over Germany. We're going to use chicken. You can use pork for sure. We've definitely done it with pork before, and it's very tasty. Typically, like if you were to get this in Vienna, it would be served with veal, which is baby cow. What's that called? Calf. Like, yeah, just a young cow meat. Yeah, so in this case, chicken, flour, breadcrumbs, egg, lemon, and salt and pepper will be everything we need for the schnitzel. Beyond that, we're also going to have french fries and ketchup and radler, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. Since there's two of us, we will use 2 chicken breasts. These are quite large, and there's a specific way to cut it to get a nice giant schnitzel like it should be. So first, we have this like kind of inside part and like this more outside part. I start with the inside part and I just kind of slice through that just a little bit and kind of fold it out like that. And then I kind of, at the same level of this, I just slice through this thicker part and kind of open that up. And I just kind of fine tune it. I don't want to cut all the way through, but I want it to be open. And then it's still much too thick to be a schnitzel, so we just pound it. And there you have a beautiful big schnitzel. You can definitely use like a meat tenderizer for that, but I don't have one. The next step is just salt and pepper. And on both sides, for sure. The way we used to do it is not season the chicken, but we would put the seasoning in the flour, and then we would put the chicken into the seasoned flour, and basically just have the flour be seasoned, and then that would hopefully season the chicken. But in my opinion, that's much more complicated.
It doesn't work that well.
Yeah, like the seasoning should definitely go onto the chicken directly or onto whatever you're using, pork or veal.
But we've also used lemon pepper.
That is true. We're not using that because we have an actual lemon that we're going to squeeze all over it afterwards. But if you do not have an actual lemon, then a all right substitute is lemon pepper. Definitely better to just have a lemon. It's way tastier. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that, I guess, on seasonings. And then we also, if you're doing a lot more than just 2 schnitzels, then you can have like a separate plate and just like put the chicken into the flour instead of putting the flour onto the chicken. We've definitely done that before.
That's how we mostly used to do it.
But since we started like just making 2 schnitzels, it makes more sense to just flour the chicken on the cutting board. We also used to make them much smaller. Like I would just slice the chicken breasts up, basically, and then we would bread each one, which was quite a project. I remember I didn't really like doing that. This is much easier.
Yeah. It used to take a lot more time.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the way it was always done at my house as well, back when I lived with my parents when I was a kid. We would always cut up the schnitzels like really small. So there'd just be like lots of small schnitzels that is, I don't know, I find that actually kind of annoying. I don't like it that way. I much prefer it to be
Big ones.
big schnitzels. I mean, I remember the first time I had an actual German schnitzel in a German pub. I was probably 10 years old, and the schnitzel was so big, and I was like, what is this? Like,
that's not fair.
That's like, this is schnitzel? What the heck do we have at home? So, definitely make big schnitzel. And then we just need to bread them the rest of the way, I guess. So egg, and then nice and mixed up. And I used to season the egg too a little bit, but like there's no reason. And then breadcrumbs. We might need a little bit more breadcrumbs than that, but we'll see. At this point, you can probably turn the stove on. So you can kind of see in the corner here, got the pan on the stove, and traditionally schnitzel is deep fried, right? But deep frying in your own kitchen is actually a big pain in the butt. I really don't like it. So we just pour like a thin layer, basically, of oil. Like the whole bottom should definitely be covered, and there will be some excess oil at the end. But it's much better than having like oil that's an inch deep, and like dealing with that afterwards is a pain. So we just basically pan fry the schnitzel, but you'll see at the end they come out looking pretty much deep fried. So that's good.
Right?
Yeah, that should be enough. We can always add some if we need to. So then schnitzel goes into the egg. Just try to make sure we get all the little nooks and crannies nice and breaded. And that's that, one schnitzel.
Our fries can go in the oven.
Yep. And these are just frozen fries. The ingredients are potatoes and oil. So if you can find anything like that, that's great.
Yeah.
And these ones get nice and crispy. I like this brand. As for the schnitzel, that's ready to go in. Just in it goes. And these are quite large, but I'm hoping they will both fit, at least somewhat. Kinda. We'll make it work. And the temperature is a little bit above medium. Like technically the oil's supposed to be right around, I believe, 165 Celsius, which is maybe like 350 Fahrenheit. But this is fine. I don't know what temperature the oil is, but as long as it's like bubbling up around it and not like bubbling up too crazy, that's good. They're looking pretty good on that side, so I will flip them over. Just like so. Like so. Lovely. So the schnitzels are ready. They have reached an internal temperature of 72 degrees Celsius, which is enough for chicken. So we need some plates. These turned out a little bit thicker and smaller than I was hoping, because I should have pounded them a little bit harder, but other than that, that is two very lovely schnitzel. We just need little, like not quarters, like eighths slices or something. Kind of just like that. presto. Now we're ready to eat it. We have our schnitzel and our radler. And now the only ingredient that is missing is ketchup, which there's no room on my plate for it yet, so I have to eat the vegetables. But first, we need to do the squeezing the lemon onto the schnitzel. There we have it. Nice, beautiful schnitzel. It is very tasty. I made a little spot for my ketchup. Nice. Now it's complete.